Time for another YouTube video. Playing Assassin's Creed. I'm streaming on Mixer right now. Alright, let's get into Raw. Look up the results. Trust the old ringsidenews.com. Oh, I guess trusty ringsidenews.com. Alright, so first we get a match between Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Roman wins and he qualifies because Roman's going to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So there you go. Whether you like it or you don't, it's happening. And I guess I'm fine with it, by the way. Finn and Carl Anderson versus the Revival. Finn and Carl Anderson win. Why this match happened? Because the Revival says they're a tag team. So they were like, Finn, grab one of your two buddies there and challenge us to a match. And Finn and Carl Anderson win. So there you go. Revival look like idiots for challenging Finn Balor to a tag match. Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander versus Tony Nese and Drew Gulak. Mustafa and Cedric win, basically to make Cedric look strong because he's advanced in the Cruiserweight tournament, and Mustafa Ali hasn't competed in the tournament yet. Maybe he'll compete 2 weeks from now because next week's matches have already been announced. Tony Nese versus Drew Gulak, and Mark Andrews versus I don't remember. But I know it's not Mustafa Ali. Alright, next. Oh, right. Kurt came out, basically talked about how the women's champion is going to defend her title in the chamber match. And then Alexa came out, called Kurt a sexist because Brock Lesnar doesn't have to defend his title in the chamber match. But we all know Brock doesn't show up to every show. So this sexist angle is probably going to be dropped by next week. Alright, so then we get a backstage segment with Bayley and Sasha. Wait, we get the match first? No. We get the backstage segment first. I guess I just skipped through it. So basically Sasha and Bayley are talking. Bayley's like, oh, you got any tips for me beating Asuka? Sasha's like, I think I'm going to keep my tips close to my heart. Or close to the chest. All my secrets close to the chest, whatever. Bayley's like, oh, I can't beat Asuka. Or I might not be able to beat Asuka, but I know I can beat you. And which is true because Bayley's beaten Sasha before on NXT. So there you go. And then we get the match. Bayley versus Asuka. Asuka wins because she's not losing on a Raw. She's undefeated, people. Come on now. And then Bayley and Asuka shake hands, which is interesting because I think that's the only time Asuka shook hands with anyone on the main roster before. So, there you go. Then we get Miz coming out. Miz versus Apollo Crews on another Elimination Chamber qualifier. Miz is in the chamber match, which I'm against because Miz shouldn't be in the chamber match. He should be defending the IC title. But, hey, I'm not Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn. They make the decisions. I just watch. Okay, so we have our 5 people for the chamber match, and the next week we get a fatal 4-way between the losers: Apollo Crews, Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt. Who else? Oh, Finn Balor. I don't know what I was looking at. Then we get the Bar versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns for the tag titles. The Bar win because Jason Jordan comes out and gets Seth and Roman disqualified. Then we get Nia Jax in a squash match. Nia Jax wins. They're building her up to look strong against Asuka because she's fighting Asuka at Elimination Chamber. I'll do Elimination Chamber predictions when it gets closer to pay-per-view. Pay-per-view is still like 2 weeks away, so there you go. Then we get Sonya Deville versus Mickie James. Mickie James wins in a surprise roll-up. WWE loves their surprise roll-ups, so there you go. Then Absolution beat her up, and Alexa Bliss comes out to make the save. Alexa Bliss is only saving her, so she'll try to have allies in the chamber match. Then we get John Cena versus Braun Strowman versus Elias. Elias wins because he steals a pin, because Braun does his finisher on John Cena, and Elias steals the pin, and then Braun attacks them both after the match is over. So that's how we ended Raw, with Braun standing tall over fallen opponents. Overall, Raw wasn't that great. Then we get to SmackDown. Shane and Bryan come out, do their usual promo back and forth. Cap off the promo. Shane basically says that Daniel Bryan's living vicariously through Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. AJ comes out, says how you guys should stay away from the main event tonight because I'll be on commentary. Alright, and that was basically the end of that promo. Then we get Charlotte versus Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, aka Carmella lookalike. There you go. So Charlotte wins, and basically Charlotte's gonna take out the whole Riot Squad before WrestleMania. Well, I guess before Fastlane too. I don't know. And one of the rumored matches is Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey for the championship at WrestleMania. I don't know if I'd rather see that or a mixed tag match with Ronda and Rock versus Triple H and Stephanie. Not sure. Wait and see what happens on that. Next, Bludgeon Brothers versus the local tag team. Bludgeon Brothers win. Usos come out, cut a promo. Basically the same thing they said last week. They have the SmackDown Tag Division on lock, and eventually they're going to get a match with the Bludgeon Brothers, probably at Fastlane. Then we get the SmackDown Top 10 list, which made, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if it's supposed to be to elevate talent, why are your champions there? So top 10, number 10 was Ty Dillinger, 9 was Randy Orton, 8 was Becky Lynch, 7 was the Usos, tag team champions of course, 6 was the New Day, 5 was the U.S. champion Bobby Roode, 4 was Naomi, 3 was Shinsuke Nakamura, 2 was Charlotte Flair, women's champion, 1 was WWE champion AJ Styles. And people are wondering, why is Naomi higher than the champion, higher than 2 of the champions in the SmackDown roster? Doesn't really matter. I don't care. Then we get the U.S. title match, Bobby Roode versus Rusev. Again, match where I didn't really care about the people. Raw's main event, I don't like Elias, and I don't like Braun. The only person I like in there is John Cena. So Bobby Roode wins, and then Randy Orton comes out and RKO's everybody. So Randy's going for the U.S. title, maybe. That'd be interesting. I think Randy's won it before. Pretty sure he has. Anyway, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable versus the Ascension. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable win. And I like them better than I like the Ascension. So next we get Sami and Kevin. Well, Sami and Kevin. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. This is a good match. Good back and forth. Match ends in a no contest because AJ attacks both of them because Sami Zayn went over and like pushed AJ over in his chair or whatever. So yeah. Alright. Let's look up NXT results. 205 live matches were Roderick Strong versus Hideo Itami. Roderick Strong wins, advances in the tournament. And Kalisto versus Lince Dorado. And Kalisto wins and advances in the tournament. Alright, first match on NXT was it Heavy Machinery and yeah. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Sanity and Undisputed Era attacking each other. And then that got turned into a triple threat. A 3-on-3 tag match. 3-on-3 tornado tag match. With no DQ, apparently, because they were using weapons. Alright, and the first actual match was Heavy Machinery, which is Otis Dozovich and Tucker Knight versus Tito Sabatelli and Riddick Moss. Heavy Machinery win, and Tito and Riddick break up after. Like, they break up the tag team, they turn on each other, attack each other, whatever, what have you. Then we get Bianca Belair in a squash match, which Bianca wins. Then we get Johnny Gargano promo, basically leading to Thea Trinidad, aka Zelina Vega, saying that we'll give you another NXT title shot if you put your like NXT career on the line, not like the career of WWE entirely. So that match is going to happen next week. And he also called out Tommaso, so Tommaso will probably show up next week. And then we get Sanity versus Undisputed Era. Sanity wins. And probably makes them look good for a future tag title shot. Which they still have their rematch clause, so I'm sure they'll get that at some point. Look at Impact Wrestling news. Oh yeah, we got a new commentary team. So now it's the Pope, not the Pope. That's Sanjay Dutt and Josh Matthews. These results go back quick. First match, Hijo del Fantasma and Rahat Raj versus Tasha Ishimori, which is the X Division champion, and Matt Sydal, who is the Grand champion. So this match was good, like back and forth. Matt Sydal and Tasha Ishimori win. Sydal gets the pin on Raj with the shooting star press, which is Matt Sydal's finisher, if you guys didn't know. Then we get Austin Aries backstage, basically talking to the press, basically saying he's not signed with Impact yet. He's still traveling around the world collecting all the belts. And then Eli Drake comes in, starts yelling at him, talking about, "Oh, that wasn't a real match. I'm still champion." Yada yada. Then we get the Cult of Lee, which is Trevor Lee and Caleb Conley versus Jobbers, and the Cult of Lee win. Then we get Kiera Hogan. She's from Houston, Texas. She's wrestled for Reality of Wrestling. She wrestles for Shine. She's part of a stable in Shine Wrestling, but I forgot what the stable was called. Just drop my controller. So yeah, Kiera Hogan versus Laurel Van Ness, Knockout Championship match. Laurel Van Ness wins. Eventually, Laurel Van Ness, well, she's already left the company, I think. So then we get another Brian Cage video. Brian Cage is basically an indie wrestler who's great. Basically what he is. Then we get well, before that, we got OVE beating up Lashley, which Lashley's gone from the company already, so this feud's really not going to go anywhere. Jimmy Jacobs cut a promo talking about how Congo Kong is the only monster left in Impact Wrestling, and he challenges Joseph Park to bring out Abyss. So, and if he doesn't bring him out, Congo Kong will beat up Joseph Park so bad that he'll turn back into Abyss. And Seidel and Ishimori cut a promo. Matt says his spiritual advisor taught him how to take energy from other champions and absorb it. And he said the match the match that Ishimori has against Phantasma is probably going to be a good one, and wishes him good luck. And then we get Anaya the Huntress, which is another indie wrestler, versus Amber Nova, which another indie wrestler. And Anaya beats Amber Nova, and then Rosemary comes out to attack her. Comes out to attack Anaya, of course, not Amber Nova. Then we get EC3 versus Johnny Impact versus Moose versus Alberto El Patron. And Johnny Impact wins and becomes the new #1 contender. This match was good. All four of these guys are great workers. And much like the other matches, like I would say, out of all the matches on the show, this one was probably the one I cared most about. Like the tag match, obviously I knew all four of the competitors in the tag match. The first one, not the second. And then Hanaya, I've always known Amber Nova was a good worker. This is the first time seeing Hanaya the Huntress. Like I've heard of her, but I don't watch her actively. So yeah, that's everything. Elimination Chamber predictions to come. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, 205 Live next week. Probably review that on, if not like Wednesday night, then Thursday. Well, what's it? Oh, it's Friday now. So yeah, see ya either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday of next week. Alright. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Alright, see you.